Good day, everyone. My name is Maria Victoria Sumagang from the Philippines. I will be presenting our research entitled A Novel Algorithm for Process-Specific Marginal Abatement Cost Curves, Resolving Technology Conflicts in Multi-Step Manufacturing. Shown here are my co-authors. This is a collaboration between the University of the Philippines, Los Baños, and the University of Nottingham, Malaysia. Just a quick background about the University of the Philippines, Los Baños. We are located 65 kilometers south of Manila, Philippines. And we are an agriculture and research university. So we have mountains, forests, and hot springs. You're welcome to visit us anytime. I will begin with an introduction with the background and objectives of this study. In the Paris Agreement, we agreed to limit the warming up to 1.5 and 2 degrees Celsius below the or above the pre-industrial level, but reports have shown that we have exceeded the 1.5 threshold. And the continuous warming will cause severe weather events and other impacts that will affect our livelihoods and our well-being. And we have seen these impacts all over the world, not just in Southeast Asia, as shown in the picture of floodings, but also in other parts of the world. And the here is shown is the historical cumulative net anthropogenic emissions per region. It's actually distributed unevenly per region. So we have the fossil fuel cost and the land use change cost. And there are many strategies that wherein we can reduce emissions. One way is demand side mitigation that can be achieved through changes in the design and use and end use technology or end use technology adoption. Here is are the uh, different proposed approaches. We have the social-cultural infrastructure changes and technology adoption. And the focus of this study is for industries, for specifically for manufacturing industries, uh, the emission reduction strategies for such industries. However, it will really depend on the type of industry. So here we have the estimated costs for different approaches of emissions reduction, for example, energy efficiency, etc. But the focus of this um, study is on decarbonization through process changes in manufacturing industries, which is a bit in the lower end of the cost. In my field, process integration, there are many different tools that can be used for emissions reduction planning. We have bench analysis, mathematical programming, process graph, marginal abatement cost curves, and other multi-criteria decision analysis tools. But the focus of this study is on marginal abatement cost or MAC curves. Let me give you a background on what is a MAC curve. In industries or companies, when we are presented different strategies for emissions reduction, and these strategies have varying cost and potential, it's quite difficult to make a decision on which option to pursue. So marginal abatement cost curve is, or marginal abatement cost is defined as the cost per unit of CO2 or greenhouse gas emissions reduction throughout the lifetime of the project. So for example, we have here in the table different options to reduce the emissions, and we have the marginal abatement cost. So this is the cost to reduce per a million tons of carbon dioxide. And we have the potential or the um, emissions reduction in the lifetime of the project, or it can be annually. So it can be for the entire lifetime or annually. Notice that we have a negative cost here, which means this is actually a savings or rather than a cost. Next, we plot those options on a graph. The y-axis is the marginal abatement cost or the specific cost. So this is the marginal abatement cost, and the x-axis is the cumulative emissions reduction potential. And we plot it in such a way that the options are arranged in increasing cost so that we can see very easily from the graph which options have the lowest marginal abatement cost. And so the intention is to prioritize those in the decision making. And the width or the x-axis would tell us the cumulative abatement. For example, our target, we have a target emissions reduction per megaton or gigaton or kiloton CO2, then we can plot it on the graph, or rather point out on the graph and then see which options are suitable or most cost effective. So that would be on the left hand side. It has been around, this technique has been around since 1970s, but it was popularized by the McKinsey and Company when they made these global MAC curves. And actually, it has been used, uh, the marginal abatement cost has been used for different policy making papers and in different industry sectors and region. But for manufacturing industries, specifically when there is a stage-specific abatement option, there's a limitation. For why? For example, this is stage one, it has two options, and stage two has three emissions reduction options. What if options D and E are conflicting, meaning only one can be performed at a time? So you have to choose just one. And if you put the two options, it will result in an overestimation in the emissions reduction potential. And this is what the study is trying to reach. So these are the knowledge gap. Marginal abatement cost curves are rarely applied in manufacturing industries, and they do not account for specific abatement options, and therefore they may overestimate the cumulative emissions reduction potential. The objectives of this study is to develop a modified MAC algorithm or methodology that considers these individual manufacturing stages and conflicting abatement options, and then test this algorithm on a case study, specifically in coffee manufacturing in the Philippines. This study contributes to the development of decision support models for emissions reduction planning to fight climate change, and it affects SDG 13 climate action. Next, we move to the methodology. Here is the problem statement. So I mentioned before, what if for stage specific um, process in manufacturing industry, what if there's a conflicting options per stage? So we developed the algorithm such that no conflicting carbon reduction strategies in each industrial step appears or occurs, and the algorithm also accommodates for different objectives or decision criteria or decision objectives. The output is a revised MAC curve with no conflicts and achieves the decarbonization objectives. So for the proposed algorithm, it groups the options, just an overview of what we did. It groups the options by process stage, and then it eliminates the redundant or conflicting strategies. And it allows decision making based on different criteria, say minimum cost or a target CO2 reduction or scenario based preferences. Here is the proposed algorithm. It starts with data collection and identifying the appropriate emissions reduction options. Next is to calculate the MAC or specific cost and arrange the options by increasing MAC or specific cost. Then we group the options based on the stage or the industrial step, and we identify which options cannot be implemented simultaneously or which options have conflict. And we decide the decision criteria based on the user, with whether the user will choose minimum cost or target a total carbon reduction potential, or based on a scenario, it depends on the user. And then we remove the conflicting carbon option that does not satisfy the decision criteria. Now there's a decision box here to check again, to double check whether there is a conflicting carbon reduction strategy per stage. If no, then that ends the algorithm. But if yes, we go back to this box, which to identify which options cannot be implemented simultaneously, and then we continue with the rest of the algorithm until we finally get an answer that is no, and that would give us the final MAC curve. And for the calculation of the MAC, we use the equation shown on the slide. So this is just the calculation for a traditional MAC curve. And then for the visualization, first we arrange the abatement or the emissions reduction options by increasing MAC, and then we determine their cumulative abatement potential using the equations above, and then we generate the MAC curve and label the MAC curve. And for this study, all of these were done using MS Excel. For the demonstration of the algorithm, we use a case study instant coffee production in the Philippines with this capacity and operating hours. For the baseline emissions, these are the um, for the specific capacity based on the literature, this would be the utilities needed for steam and electricity. And then for each of the steps in manufacturing the coffee, instant coffee, roasting, extraction, evaporation, spray drying, we identified different abatement options. So these are the different abatement options identified, and we calculated the MAC for each of these options. Next is the discussion of the results. So these tables, next four slides would show you the calculation of the MAC curve and the emissions reduction potential. And the currency is in Philippine peso, but I put here the conversion. So this is the next four slides would just show that for the different technologies, the MAC and the potential. And then we developed two scenarios. Scenario one is the minimum cost scenario. For this one, these specific technologies were selected, and the MAC curve for this scenario was created as shown on the slide. So the different steps are shown by colors. So we have the roasting, extraction, evaporation, and spray drying. And the results is that um, for the plant capacity, 548 tons of carbon dioxide per year is abated with this total cost. For scenario two is a moderate cost. These technologies were selected and these were the results. Now, notice that for each scenario, there are costs that are negative, which means that these are cost savings rather than um, costs. So, based on those results, we see that scenario one is most cost effective or more cost effective and yields higher CO2 abatement. And the negative MAC values highlight the win-win measures that save money and cut emissions. However, even if we perform the all of these emissions reduction, there is still a deficit in the so we don't reach net zero emissions. The deficit is 828 tons of carbon dioxide per year. However, this methodology ensures that realistic abatement pathways are reported and avoids overestimation. Then we compared the results of this study with the literature. It's quite difficult to find the literature that um, reports coffee production marginal abatement cost curve. So we just chose theory. And just to give you context, the study here that we compared with has a different scale. So ours is just small scale, while this dairy production is a big scale, and that's why you would notice that the emissions reduction potential is smaller in this study compared to the comparative one. So, but in terms of the MAC calculated MAC, the lowest MAC that we got is negative 150, while in this study is negative 41, while the highest in our study is 508 USD, and the other study is 870 USD. Um, so just to note, very important, the limitation of this study. The results and proposed technologies have not yet been validated with the coffee industry. We actually reached out some of in the food industry in the Philippines to help us validate the study, but we haven't had a chance to. I mean, there's no contact yet from the industry, but we're continually reaching out. And then another limitation here is that the decision criteria was based on manual selection of the technologies. It's not yet automated, and the calculations are done manually using MS Excel. So this study met the two objectives that we identified, which is to develop an algorithm that considers the individual manufacturing stages and conflicting abatement options. And we tested the algorithm on instant coffee manufacturing. And this algorithm improves the MAC accuracy by accounting for the process stage exclusivity, and therefore, the study helps prioritize cost-efficient stage-specific abatement strategies. However, as you have noticed, a lot of the strategies have high upfront cost, which remains a barrier, and therefore companies must balance or must calculate the trade-offs between investment and emissions reduction. For future work, it would be good for the decision criteria to be automated and also for the calculations to be automated. I would like to acknowledge the Academic Development Fund grant from the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, UPA Los Baños. For questions or comments, you can contact me at this email address. Thank you so much for your time.